Hello, I'm Marissa Moffett, and I'm an undergraduate student at Unity College, known as America's Environmental College, studying animal health and behavior. I'm here to talk to you guys about saving endangered species. In 2021, there were over 41,000 species on the IUCN Red List, and that number is rising. This is the cheetah. According to the IUCN Red List, there are only 6,674 cheetahs in Africa today. They're classified as vulnerable to extinction. Cheetahs living outside protected areas are threatened by confrontations with livestock farmers, traps and snares meant for other animals, high-speed roads, particularly the ones that cut through major wildlife areas, irresponsible tourism, larger native species like the lion, resource mining, hunting for their skins and coats as well as for the pet trade, and of course, climate change. With this long of a threat list, it's no wonder cheetahs are considered vulnerable to extinction. Unfortunately, the other 41,000 species on the list have similar stories, and without our help, these species will go extinct, and many more will be added to the list every year. Research shows that current extinction rate is far higher than the natural rate, and that the human species is largely to blame. Climate change, habitat loss, and pollution being the leading causes to this mass extinction that we are in. The problem with one extinction is that it affects its whole ecosystem in unpredictable ways. Take the gray wolf, for example. When the wolves were wiped out from the Yellowstone National Park, the elk populations exploded, causing certain vegetation to be overgrazed and leaving some other species, like birds or beavers, without homes. Without the vegetation needed to build the dams, the river trajectories changed in Yellowstone. Some of these consequences are so far outside of what anyone could have predicted, but that's exactly what happens when a species, especially a keystone species like the wolf, disappears from an ecosystem. But why should we care? Let's say you don't have an innate love for animals or nature. Why does it matter to you if species go extinct? It doesn't affect you, right? Wrong. Species extinction affects humans in numerous ways. 50% of our medicines that we have today come from natural sources, meaning plants or animals. Scientists have admitted that some compounds extracted from natural sources were far too complex to have been created by researchers, like Taxol, for example, that's used to treat cancer patients. If the natural resource had gone extinct before scientists could discover these compounds, countless human lives would have been lost. Imagine how many more medicines that could have been developed would be lost simply because we did not care enough to prevent species extinction. Biodiversity provides many benefits to agriculture as well. If you are a farmer, you have a marine worm to thank for your insecticides. You have the microorganisms in the soil to thank for soil fertility. Approximately 1/3 of the world's food crops depend on natural pollinators like bees, hummingbirds, butterflies, beetles, bats, and more. Bees pollinate about $10 billion worth of crops in the United States every year. Monitoring the decline of species also helps us identify if there are harmful chemicals or poisons in the environment that might affect us. For example, in the mid-1900s, when the number of bald eagles and falcons dropped, we discovered that the widely used pesticide DDT was incredibly dangerous to humans as well. The list of benefits that biodiversity has on the environments around us and for human beings is endless. In order to preserve our biodiversity, we need to save endangered plant and animal species and prevent more species from being added to that list. So how do we do that? What actions can the everyday person take to help? You can support your local zoos who are actively making conservation efforts. Become an advocate on social media. Get involved politically. Plant trees or donate to organizations that do. Be more informed about the products you are buying and how they affect the environment. There are companies online that sell earth-friendly products. Take steps to a more sustainable lifestyle. Research endangered animals in your area and what you can do to help them. Some dog trainers have even trained their dogs to sniff out endangered species so that they can more accurately and efficiently track their population. Get your kids involved by simply getting them outdoors, taking them to a zoo, planting a tree with them, and educating them of nature's importance. Fund a conservation project. Farmers can use plants containing natural toxins that repel harmful insects, or use other animals that prey on crop pests. This is typically a less expensive option than using synthetic chemicals that are harmful to the environment. I read an article by Ian Angus called "Scientists Urge Immediate Action to Prevent Global Biodiversity Collapse." The article stresses the importance of acting fast. Many scientists believe that this is the last decade that we have to make drastic change before the world's biodiversity and ecosystems collapse. Fortunately, by taking action, we have been able to save many species from extinction, and even take some of them off the IUCN Red List altogether. The bald eagle is the Endangered Species Act's greatest triumph, going from 417 breeding pairs to more than 5,000 in a 30-year span. The species was taken off the endangered species list in 2007. Some species, like the California condor or the Guam rail, have begun to recover after being declared extinct in the wild due to conservation efforts in captivity. The Australian trout cod, though still on the endangered species list, has gone from being classified as endangered to just being classified as vulnerable. There are many other success stories out there, and this should give you hope. You can make a difference. Let's save our future by saving the world's endangered species. Thank you.